Hello and welcome to my knitting podcast. My name is Jolanda and I'm coming to you from the east of the Netherlands. So today is Wednesday, the 31st of January. Yeah, it can't be that hard. So I'm here today to talk to you about the 12 cast-ons of 2024. This is the wrap-up video and I will show you what I've been knitting and which one have been finished, if there are any fails or whatever. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm so glad you found me here. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as jolandalovesyarn. I will put it here on screen for you. And today I am wearing this stripy unicorn from a pattern from Hohi Locatelli. It's a fairly new pattern. I knitted it last November. I had some problems because of an error on my part and I had to do some serious sweater surgery, but I will talk about that on a separate video. So the 12 cast-ons, it was such a joy. It was also became almost a job, but I'm very happy I did it. It was such a fun experience. It was the most amazing thing to keep your mind off the daily troubles and just fantasize, dream of the next project, of the yarn you're gonna use. You also see your stash going down, which is amazing and always happy about that. So the way I did it, I draw numbers for each day, for each cast on I should say, and I'll knit it for 3 days on that cast on and then I'll draw a new number. So the first number I drew was the butterfly sweater and that is this one. Let me see. I will put it on a hanger for you so it is a little bit more clear how it is looking. So I knit this in drops North. There's a lot of drops yarn. It is a very budget-friendly yarn. It also holds up very nice. I have several sweaters made out of it. And so the butterfly sweater is actually a top and it has very wide sleeves. Probably the butterfly wings it should mimic. And I separated for the sleeves. I'm knitting on the body now. The neckline is already nice and neat, so you don't have to do anything afterwards. It's already nice and finished. So this is turning out very nicely. So as I understand, there's a picot etching or there are a few etching options for the sleeves. So I can imagine there's just a few more rounds to go, and then this is a very crop top, but I will make it definitely somewhat longer. So this is a very nice and yeah, it's a bluish grayish. Yeah, it's a cool color at least, and I think that will look nice on me. I knit this on 3.5 millimeters, so it is not a very tight gauge. It's just somewhere in between. It's also not very loose. It just gives a very nice fabric. I think I will wear this over a long sleeve tee because yeah. Short sleeves and that does not really look good on me. So that was number one, and what you will notice probably is most things I cast on are at this stage now. So that is kind of a downfall because all the fun stuff is done with most of the sweaters, a few exceptions. So it is just plain knitting and sleeves. Which, yeah, that's probably why I casted on 2 new projects, which I will not talk about today, but I did. So, this is the first one, the butterfly sweater. I will just continue knitting on it, and if I make any progress or if there's finished objects, I'm sure you will be the first to know. Number 2 was a washcloth, face cloth I made, and it was along the garden path. I made it in drops cotton light, which is a cotton acrylic blend, and just a simple but very nice and elegant, and yeah, it was done very quickly. And as I already explained in the beginning, if I make a washcloth, I will accompany it with a beautiful spin. So I spun some white fiber And this was a little bit more difficult than I imagined in the beginning. These were all mill ends, they were quite compacted, and I, in the end, decided to card it on my drum carder, and then made spinning way easier. It did not turn out as thin as I thought. I always think, oh, I spin so very thin, but well, it is not thick, but it is definitely not fingering weight. So I thought originally maybe some socks, but the socks I planned was, this was not suitable for sure. And it also was not enough meterage. But nevertheless, a very nice yarn. Then, that was number 3. Number 4 is the fall Mackley sweater. And I think I'm the farthest on that one. And it is, I tried it on. So I will try to put in the little video clip of me trying it on so you can see. But I have some problems with my computer. The program I always use suddenly cannot longer read my my video clips I make on my phone. It just stopped working. So I tried to upgrade it, and then suddenly I had to pay a big amount, which I have no funds at the moment. So I am trying to make these clips on my phone now. So it will be probably a little bit different, maybe a little bit less pretty, but I have to do with what I have right now. So if I can manage, I will put in the clip here so you can see me trying this one on. Since then I already knitted a little bit more. So this is the fall Mackley sweater, my 4th cast on, and this is a long way of close to getting finished. So I am finishing the body first. I will omit the ribbing because I'm still hoping I can make long sleeves. But I'm very doubtful, but I have a little plan. I think I will, first of all, these armholes are very wide, so I don't need such a wide sleeve. So I will do decreases pretty quickly. I will do definitely a long part, just of a solid color. I would like that the most. So this nothing will distract you from this beautiful yoke. And maybe at the bottom I will do striping. Like this is also 1 by 1 stripe. One is drop charisma, the other one is hand spun. So I hope to do a little bit of striping using these colors also in the sleeves. I hope it is not necessary. I hope I have enough to finish the sleeve and just do the cuffs in this fluffy yarn. But I don't know. I think I need to finish the body first, and I'm close because I want my side seams to be around 40 centimeters. So I think maybe the hem will be 5 centimeters, it's 35. So I'm getting close, and this is the yarn I have left. So I have no clue if that is enough for the sleeves. I hoped I had 200 grams left for the sleeves, but I have not. But maybe I don't need that much. I will definitely decrease sooner than the pattern says to get a more, I mean, this is even wide enough, and I measured that, and it means that I can decrease quite a lot. This yoke is quite wide. It is very beautiful. So yes, this is, I think this one will be finished sooner than the other ones. But I'm a bit hesitant right now because it is not fully working out like I hoped. I mean, playing yarn chicken is never fun. And I think I lost some stitches here, so I will put them on quickly. So the yarn I'm using is a knit crate yarn, and as I figured it out, I overdyed it in a darker green because Knit Crate at a certain point sent all very pale colors, and pale colors don't look so very good on me. I think that the darker tones just look a little bit better. I could not even see it because I did a pretty good job in overdying that. So that was the fall medley sweater. Next is the Nivalis pullover. And let me think which one that is. That is, I think, maybe in this corner. Yeah, it is. I surprisingly did not get so far on this one. I know I did frog the little part I had. Or maybe, yeah, it was the neckline part I had, and I did not like that because it was, instead of regular color work, it was the float sides on the outside. And I know you can get real nice results with that, but for me and this yarn was not working well. So I did just the regular, just the normal color work as we all know it. And this looks really, really nice. There's no reason why I did not proceed on this, but it is, again, just finished after separating for the sleeves. And at some point you just choose, I think this is also, I mean, again, this is Drops Flora, but it is even thinner than Drops North, so this will be take a longer time than the DK weight sweater, of course. So that's probably why I chose to work a little bit more on that. So the Nivalis sweater and the pullover or sweater. And it is by Tati Lutzak, and I have several patterns of her on the go this time. It's really nice. It has a little rolled edge. So yeah. And that was number 5. And number 6, it was another dishcloth, and it was the pretty little dishcloth. And we have it here. And it is a pretty little dishcloth. It has a little lace etching. It's kind of the feather and fan. Sometimes very simple things can have a beautiful result. So this is also the same yarn, the Drops Cotton Light, which is all very affordable. I think you can have about 1.5 dishcloths out of one little ball of yarn, which usually is around €1 or less. So there are also a few patterns which uses 3 colors, so I could just definitely use up the leftovers. And again, a washcloth is accompanied by some spinning. And this time I did a little bit more of spinning. I love to spin. Almost every day I spin, and I have a lot of spinning done. I still do spinning next to my knitting. It's just very comforting. I can honestly say that whole enormous bag I got from my son for Christmas, I have like 300 grams left to spin. The rest is all spun up. I've been plying 400 grams, and this was also in the bag. I just spun up everything because it gives me so much comfort and it's relaxing. So these are 2 really big skeins, and it's just, I don't know the fiber. It just says fine fiber or middle fine or coarse. And this is fine fiber. I think it is something of cordial, maybe a little bit merino. And it has sparkle, and it's just absolutely stunning. And this just will become a sweater probably, or a cardigan, or yeah, whatever it will become. My plan is definitely to start knitting with handspun. The 2 projects I started, one of them is almost finished. It is out of old handspun. The second project is also out of old handspun, but combined with newer. And it was just very irregular in the beginning. That is just how it is. But you can still knit beautiful things out of it. And I even have a lot of sweater quantities of handspun. This also. So there's no reason not to use it. And maybe I was also thinking I have a lot of patterns bought, which I have never come around to using them. And that's just time, and maybe I can pair them up. Who knows? I will try. But I have a lot of projects on the go right now, so, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm drinking some nice tea. I was just out posting a package. I needed a little bit of fresh air. We have about 9 degrees above Celsius right now, and no more frost during the nights since this week. And I'm drinking the Fall Storm tea from Pickwick. I love it. It's a black tea. There's nothing like a big cup of tea to warm you up. Good, that was spinning, the black fiber. Next I draw a number, and that ended up being the brambling socks. The brambling socks. And if you watched my previous episode, you know the story about the yellow yarn and all the blah blah blah. This is my first pair of socks I made out of drop snort, and I actually finished these socks within the 3 days I had. Apparently I can knit socks in 3 days. I don't knit pattern socks that often. Usually I use a striping yarn, or I use my sock tubes I made on my sock machine, and then I just add heel stuffing toes. But apparently I like this. It was such an enjoyable pattern. You can find it all on my Ravelry page. I will link it down below. I hope I can link it, because last time I was not able to link anything on my phone. But the brambling socks, a really nice pattern. It has a little leaf over here. And I'm so interested to see how these will hold up while I wear them. So it is a little bit thicker than sock weight yarn. I still use my 2.25 licker needles to knit these. And yeah, that's just absolutely stunning, aren't they? I love them. I so look forward to wearing them. Yeah, really like it. The brambling socks, so they are finished. So I got 2 finished washcloth, I have 2 spinning projects finished, and I have my socks finished. So I already have 5 finished projects out of the 12, which is absolutely great. The next one I drew was the lockdown brioche school. I have not worked on it since the last time, but the moment I record, I still have a full day to work on it. So it is definitely, probably, I hope, it is bigger than you last time saw this. So this is how far I got. The chevrons are very visible right now on the screen, not so in real life. But this will be just a very squishy shawl, which brioche makes it beautiful on both sides. I have a very Barbie pink woolen coat, and I'm just looking forward to just wrapping myself up with it in this, just so putting it over. Yeah, so I have not worked on it. It is definitely not on my priority list, but if I finished a few sweaters, maybe I will pick this up, and maybe I will do it in the morning, you know, working half an hour on this every morning, and then yeah, that might be a good idea. If I put it away too long, I might be in trouble not remembering how that whole brioche thing was going. I think it would be smart if I keep working on it. But I also have a blanket, the Cozy Memory blanket. I looked up all the tiny little balls of yarn I would have put in there, and it has not had any love lately, so that is also a project. I think it is 2 or 3 years old. I should just work on it and put one little square on there every day. That's not even a job. It's just, you have to have a little bit of a rhythm. So I will look. I wanted to make this video first, and there are so much things going on I want to talk about and show you, but today it is just the 12 cast-ons, and I have to see if I can actually upload a video that is longer than 10 minutes without my phone crashing. Let's hope that will all work. So if you see this, I made it happen. Number 9, no, that was number 9, was the lockdown brioche school. The Volia blouse, also a pattern by Teti Lutzak. I can't even read my own writing. So, the last time you saw this one, it was just a red blob and I could not show you back, front, or maybe you remember my neckline was not as I wanted it to be. It was rolling over because I think the cast on was just too tight. So in my last video I showed you actually that I did unravel it. It was quite a chore because unraveling backwards is never easy, and then I ended up somewhere in some kind of increase row. So I just kept calm and unraveled it stitch by stitch. And I managed to do it, and it's not rolling over, so it was definitely a problem on my part that I casted it on too tightly. And then you fold it over and you do the cast on edge, knit you together just to make this folded over and already finished, but it was too tight, so I had to hand seam it on the inside, which is okay. The inside doesn't look too tidy, but then again I made sure it was not visible on the outside, so it is still looking nice. So this will be closed. You can do it either with a loop and a button or with some ties with some tassels. I was thinking maybe, because I have a lot of beads from previous years that I did a lot of bead jewelry making and that kind of stuff. So maybe I can find some precious beads and use them instead of tassels. I don't know. It might be totally unfindable, because if you move houses, that is kind of the thing, to find everything back. So again, I have separated for the sleeves. These are white sleeves. They also stay white at the end of the sleeves, and on the hem there will be lace on this one. So there are still some exciting things to come. But there are a lot of stitches. This is a very oversized blouse. It also, the name says blouse, so you can see it is a lot of stitches. And this is again drop snort. And this time it is a pretty tight gauge. I cannot see for the life of me what the needle size this is, but I think it's close to 3 millimeters. So there will be a lot of knitting, but it is looking really nice, really nice. So another beautiful project, the Volia blouse. And that was number 10. So we are at number 11, the green machine. And the story behind that name, it is actually in the yarn factory, they have a green machine. And that is where the pattern is called after. So it is a free pattern. I am using a commercial yarn, which is a cotton and acrylic, and even though it looks nice, the stretch on the cotton yarn is always very minimal, so the knitting experience, the knitting pleasure is always, I find it less pleasurable than something with wool. But then again, this is a summer top. So here you can see I binded off stitches. So I think the idea is to seam this part together and everything will be finished with an I-cord. Looks a bit bunched up, but actually it is, I don't know, it's probably because of whatever. Maybe it has been squished up. Maybe I did not. Okay, my dog wanted to add something to that. Right, so again, I'm a bit further on this one because I thought, okay, I can prioritize this because this is just some increases because I chose the smaller size because of my bust circumference. But again, my hips has to fit in also, so I will do increases. So I can do one extra pattern repeat of the lace on the bottom, and that will make it not too oversized on the top, because then, because I'm very flat chested, there's always that gaping. If you choose a bigger size, the amount of ease will just, yeah, never work so well for me. But then again, my hips have to fit in, and because there's lace on the bottom, I don't want it too tight, or that will also not look very well. Right, I need a little bit of tea because I will start coughing otherwise. We have the last pattern, which is an amazing, it turns out so well. I also have a little video clip about that, which I will try to put in here. That is the Roots and Shoots, also by Tati Lutzak. And I talked about this last time, how I steamed the yoke. And that made it so much more beautiful, enjoyable. It feels so much better. It's so nice and drapey now. And yeah. This is made out of my hand-dyed yarn. I talked about it last time, so I will not do that again. This is actually how it is supposed to be. I might do an I-cord bind off just to make it should roll over, I think, but there are not even enough rows to roll over, to be honest. I think I need to do a little bit about that. But then again, I'm alternating skeins. The short rows were below the collar work. And that is why the back is longer than the front right now. Yeah, this is just stockinette. Like I said, alternating skeins. Then the sleeves. There is a corrugated rib on the ends of the bottom and also on the sleeve. So there is still some exciting things to come. So these are the colors I'm using. There's a little color difference. That's why I'm alternating skeins, because it is hand dyed. It happens. And yeah, this was the last project, and it looks absolutely stunning. Yeah. So I'm happy with all of my projects. I am. And I'm looking forward to also finishing some of them. As I'm recording here, I am sitting in my dining area of my living room. So the kitchen is over there. I have a tiny little yarn room in this house. It's about 2.5 meters square. I'm thinking about in the future, I want to have a nice sofa, a chair there where I can sit in and where I can knit. I have 3 cats and a dog. So the dog is not going so well with the cats. He is a rescue dog and he has mood swings, just like we do. But his ones are a little bit more dangerous than ours. And since he is very attached to me, he's a very sensitive dog. He is also very jealous of any cats that are approaching me. He has been snipping them a few times. So Molly is my oldest cat. She is really my girl, my baby. We have been through a lot together. She's very precious to me. So she has been, well, I can't say bitten because she was not hurt, but still he got her a few times, and she's old. She cannot escape that quickly. So I want to sit in my yarn room so she can sit on my lap, and then the dog will be down in the living room. So the cats are up in the hallway and in the bedrooms during the day. And it's kind of sad. I just want my little kitty on my lap. But I also think that if there is a nice chair there, I can also make that my podcast area. So I have one wall, and that is my yarn wall, and the other side there are two desks because I like also, in the past I did a lot of sewing. I hope that all will come back, that I will get get inspired to make my own clothes again. I always really liked that. Right now it was also a PC, but well, there are plans for the future, hopefully, to make a few changes, and then I can do my knitting there and I can have my cat on my lap. So that's a little sidetrack story. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this and I hope you're doing well. I hope you are having fun with your knitting. I would love to hear from you. But if you can't, then I'm also very thankful that you joined me, that you watched, and maybe you could put up a like. That helps always with spreading the love of this channel. So until we see each other again, which I am planning to be back soon, hopefully every 2 weeks or maximum every month. I just need this to do for my self-healing. And I always enjoyed doing it. So I hope you enjoy watching, and then it's all good. So until we see each other again soon, happy knitting and bye bye.